multiple movies.
Where did they report that?
Everywhere. Rap had it. PHR had it. You can go look it up. You don't forget shit like that, my dog. Yeah, if it was a one-off, we would have probably reported that way. But they want. You remember the news about him working off like a Nick Fury type. You remember that?
The what?
Remember they were gonna. There was not rumors, but it was reported that he'd be a Nick Fury type.
Oh yeah, I heard that before.
So that's multiple movies. It was Nick Fury type in one movie.
You had to go back because it's a new live stream.
Your dick. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, okay. So, great look. Andy, amazing job on that flash suit where it looks like all the Speed Force, like
it's in the suit. I love that.
It's the suit, and it kind of is just pumping in the chest. I love that. Yeah. So that means when he runs, you'll kind of see like the chest piece light up.
Yeah.
And you'll see the yellow run through the suit.
I want to see the practicality.
Yes. I want to see what Batman built this.
Yeah, he said Batman, but then
it was Michael Keaton's behind him, right? So,
Batman built that for him.
What's dope is
how similar.
That Michael Keaton looked really good in that suit.
Looked like
so I wonder, are they going to do a fresher version of the same suit or a new suit?
I hope it's a new suit.
Because we have to remember, he was young as shit as that Batman. Here we go. All right, it's Suicide Squad time, guys.
Even though we are in the Hall of Heroes, I know that if I was ever in trouble, I would call upon this next group to help me out.
No, you wouldn't.
Director James Gunn announced in February that filming had wrapped for the Suicide Squad. And right now, he's taking a break from the edit bay to be here with us to discuss his vision for the film, answer fan questions, and have some insanely crazy fun with the cast. And, of course, share some never-before-seen content with us. Check it out.
This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here at DC FanDome with all the amazing DC fans. As many of you know, the Suicide Squad is by far the most fun I've ever had making a movie. I am still working hard on it every day from morning till night, but we're having a great time creating something incredibly special for people. And I'd like to take this break now to take some questions from you guys.
Hey, James, when was the first time you ever read Suicide Squad as a comic book? And who's
2019.
I read John Ostrander's original run of Suicide Squad. So I remember reading the very first issue of that run and falling in love with the concept, with the characters. I loved the movie The Dirty Dozen that came out back in the 60s. And this was like a super villain version of The Dirty Dozen. And I loved the character of Amanda Waller, who was so different for the time, in terms of being such a strong woman, but not kind of an anti-hero, but kind of bad, kind of good, not physically the same as everybody else you saw in comic books. And I just thought she was so cool. And of course, I loved all the characters and Boomer and everybody. And I just had a great time reading that initial run.
My name is Maisha Khandekar, and I'm a loyal DC fan, and I'm making this video from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I have a question for James Gunn. Which DC character were you most excited to write about for the Suicide Squad movie, and why?
Maisha, I think the character that I was the most excited to write for was Harley Quinn. I've loved this character ever since Paul Dini first put her in animated shows. I think that there's a sort of chaotic trickster god nature to her where she's just always going off in random directions. And as a writer, that's a really fun thing to deal with because she takes you in places where you don't know you're going to go. So a lot of it was me writing for Harley, and a lot of it was Harley doing some of the writing for me during the Suicide Squad.
Hey, I'm Jake from State Farm, and setting aside the massive amounts of damage that you must have had the squad rack up in that one scene, can you confirm the number of crashes and explosions? Asking for a friend.
Hey, Jake, I cannot confirm the exact amount of explosions and crashes, but I will say that we have about as many explosions and crashes in this film as in any film ever. In fact, the guy who did all of our special effects on this film, Dan Sudik, who has done almost all of the Marvel movies, great movies, says there are more effects in this film than all of those movies he's done combined. So we have quite a huge special effect explosion extravaganza for you guys.
You said Ostrander's run was influential, but what else inspired you to feature these under the radar characters?
That is an amazing question. One I'm excited to answer because I actually had a long talk with John Ostrander, about this, because he came and he visited the set, and I said, I don't think of this movie so much as an adaptation of your comics. I think of this movie as a sequel to your comics, to your run in the comic books. What would John Ostrander be doing with these characters, if it was 30 years after he first started? And so I think that it has the spirit and the lifeblood of the Ostrander books, but I also like to continuously take in new supervillains, other supervillains who have sometimes been in the Suicide Squad comics over the years, but also a lot of, characters like Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher, who have never been in the Suicide Squad, but who I just think are great DC villains who have something to offer and that we could have put into the movies. So that is where my biggest inspiration comes from.
Who were your favorite villains as a kid? And did working on this movie teach you anything new about these quote unquote villains?
Wow, who were my favorite villains growing up? Well, I was a huge Batman fan, and I'm going to tell you who my favorite villain was. And maybe it's a little embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed by it. It was Batmite. I love
Batmite.
I thought he was hilarious and creepy as heck. So Batmite was definitely my favorite supervillain. And don't think I didn't think about putting the Batmite in the Suicide Squad, because I did.
I saw the set photos of the Suicide Squad, and I absolutely love the direction of the movie. But is it true that Flora Borg is playing Javelin Man? And if so, why? Also, is Nathan Fillion playing Blackguard?
Hey, Milan. So, is Flula playing Javelin Man? Well, his name isn't exactly Javelin Man, but in mere moments, we are going to see who Flula and Nathan are playing in the film. And I'll give you a hint. One of them you got pretty correct, and the other one you didn't get correct. And there's a lot of people all over the internet who have theories about who people are playing, and sometimes they've been right, and sometimes they've been wrong. And so I guess we're going to answer all those questions in a minute. But I will tell you one thing, which is Flula Borg is the funniest guy in the entire world and incredibly strange. But he's become a good friend through all this, and he's a great guy. And Nathan, of course, has been in all my movies. He's already been a friend. Here it comes, the time that so many of you guys have been waiting for. Who is who in the squad? You've heard a lot of the actors.
Let's go.
You don't know who they're playing. Maybe you have some good guesses. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. We'll have to see. But here it is. Everything.
Everything? I better get everything.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
Welcome to Task Force X. These are
Let's go.
Oh, my God, you're that. You do that. Oh, yeah! Oh, it looks amazing. Polka Dot Man.
Loving it, loving it.
Holy shit, he looks awesome. Wow. It is him. It's fucking Bloodsport. Oh, he looks badass.
Okay.
Oh, that's how you do it, James. Thank
That's
you.
so much better.
Mongo.
Mongo.
What? Thinker, yeah. Oh my
Thinker?
God.
Thinker.
That's what I get to, baby.
I love this so much.
Yeah. Oh, he's playing
Blackguard.
Oh, he looks dope as shit. Maybe playing Billion. Oh my God, Weasel.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
He fucking nailed these costumes.
That was a wild lineup.
Amazing. That was amazing. Wow. Oh, fuck.
Here we go. We are in
That was great.
and the characters are playing of the Suicide Squad. First of all, we have Idris Elba as Bloodsport. John Cena as Peacemaker. David Dastmalchian as Polka Dot Man. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Nathan Fillion as TDK. Lula Borg as Javelin. This is like a really messed up Brady Bunch. Daniela Melchior is Ratcatcher 2. Pete Davidson is Blackguard. Feeling Ing as Mangao. Michael Rooker, unfortunately, is Savant. They deal with the devil. Peter Capaldi as the Thinker.
He's gonna be an amazing thing.
Sean Gunn is Weasel. EJP is John Economos and our on-set King Shark. GP Braga as Sol Soria. Juan Diego Bocco is General Presidente Silvio Luna. Real great guy. Joel Kinnaman is, of course, Rick Flag. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. And, of course, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Perfection. This is a fantastic cast, and they're perfectly casted.
I'm excited. This is going to be great. Well, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some competition, which it's not fun unless there's somebody winning and somebody losing. And so I would like to have a couple of team leaders, and I think it only makes sense that we have the people in charge of the Suicide Squad, Viola Davis and Joel Kinnaman, as our team leaders.
Hey, team leaders!
Why don't you guys go ahead and let's pick team.
Bloodsport.
Thanks. Thanks.
Definitely.
All right, I'll take my girl Harley Quinn.
All right.
Yay!
I will take Savant.
Oh, good for you. What a
bad pick. That is. And you guys have scenes together too. I can't believe you made that mistake.
You just made a big mistake.
John Cena. I'll take John Cena.
I want to reassure you that that is a horrible decision.
No, I already know.
He's never not.
I'm going to take my boy, King Shark.
Okay, I will take my man Boomer, Jai Courtney.
All right.
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher 2.
2. I will take Flula Borg, the Javelin.
Yes, I guarantee we will lose.
I'm going to take Polka Dot Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to grab the Weasel.
Oh, good man.
That's on Hooker's team. Yes. Is that everybody?
Not a name.
What's makes me feel really bad.
There's left.
There's only one left.
It feels like high school.
Did someone?
It totally feels like high school.
This is what it
Yeah,
was like
the
with the
thinker,
basketball.
Yeah, the Thinker.
Great idea.
I'll pick the Thinker.
Nathan
You guys are losing already.
DK.
Sol Soria.
El Presidente.
Okay. Yes. What about Mongo?
You got picked by Joel.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Pete, this is sad. Victory cigarettes.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. That was a good pick. Blackguard. Okay.
Just in time for you.
That went well. I think that went really well.
That was awesome. By the way.
He is coming in.
Head to head, and we're gonna start off.
I'm here.
Welcome to you.
Viola. I'm gonna pick. This is a good question.
Okay.
I know both of you know so much about the lore of DC Comics. There's a multiple choice, so don't look terrible. Out of all the squad members, who are the only characters to have had their own comic series? There's two of them. And I'm gonna list 4 options. A, Harley Quinn and King Shark. B, Harley Quinn and Amanda Waller. C, Harley Quinn and Peacemaker. Or D, Harley Quinn and Boomerang. Which two have had their own series? Harley Quinn and Boomerang.
Harley Quinn and Peacemaker.
Boom! Yes! That's correct! Wow!
Even look, even I knew that. Okay.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man! Again?
Mr. Sean Gunn.
Weasel versus Polka Dot Man. Old friends.
I want a softball.
Oh, yeah, you have a special guest.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Hola. ¿Cómo están? How are you? I've got a question. What career military man probably wishes he'd never followed in his dad's footsteps?
Joaquin, the great Coachy Loco.
Rick Flag Jr.
I had Super Grover. Is Super Grover? Not Super Grover.
Wrong,
Rick
Sean.
Flag Jr.
You're wrong.
Joanne, that Joaquin actor is from Narcos Mexico.
Multiple choice. You just gotta answer. Be the right choice.
Okay.
Who has more tattoos? Harley Quinn or Pete Davidson?
Harley Quinn? No, thinking about these characters. Oh, I thought we were shooting. This is a language. This is a misunderstanding.
That's always your answer when something goes wrong. Who's next?
The Bond.
Billion, TDK.
What is the government's official code name for the Suicide Squad?
I thought it was the Suicide Squad.
No.
May
Ling's dying over there.
There's extremely.
Task Force X.
Task Force X. I can't say that even if I knew the answer.
You said it. You say it in the movie. Some of these are too easy. Hey, can we go to like one of our secret guest questions?
Hey guys, which team member would you sacrifice first?
Correct answer.
Rooker.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Is that what you said, Steve?
That's what I said.
What's the answer, Jen?
I would have to go with Savant because he's played by Michael Rooker. And if anyone here has ever had to spend a day working with Michael Rooker, I think they'd probably have the same answer.
You know what? People are always like that. They always want to get rid of the most dangerous one first. Yeah, I understand where this is coming from.
All right, we're going to have Flula versus Elise. Oh, boy! Which character made his or her first full appearance in Superboy #9 in 1994? A, Mongal. B, King Shark. C, Bloodsport. D, The Thinker.
May I ask a question, Mr. Gunn?
Oh, no. Yeah.
When you say full appearance, does this mean like everything was exposed? Is it
The character was not fully exposed. No, the character had some items of clothing on.
Got it. Then I would answer King Sharky.
I was going to say B.
B, King Shark. How did you guys know that?
No. Oh, I said King Sharky. That's incorrect. So
okay, so it goes to Elise.
Yeah, sorry. Jeopardy rules, guys. Pronounce it right.
Like not even going to get.
Wait, he doesn't get that?
You can't just give away the point.
You can't give away your point, dude.
Why not? I give away snacks at lunch. Have my point.
Hey.
Even on your team?
Yeah, Flula's on my team.
What are we doing right now? What's happening?
He's not.
You keep complaining.
He's not on our team. Oh, never
You're
mind.
You're on Viola's team. Wait, I'm not on Ruka's team?
I thought you were on my team too. But no, you're not on my team.
Okay. Wait. We have another special question. Why don't we do the last special question?
Hi guys, so now I have a
Storm raid.
question for you guys. I'm gonna test your smarts. Who shot Superman? Was it
Watch Euphoria, everyone.
Peacemaker, Bloodsport, Amanda Waller? Let me know.
That is Storm Reed.
My daughter.
Which of your characters is in prison for shooting Superman?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
That's correct. Bloodsport is in prison for shooting Superman. Storm Reed turns in an amazing performance in the film, and some of the most memorable scenes, like really amazing.
I'm ready for her. I'm ready.
What movie is that?
Huh?
Is there anybody left? Pete, who's left?
Blackguard.
Against two.
Lula.
Oh, great!
Okay.
Who will lose first, Pete?
What comic book series did the Suicide Squad debut in? A. Unbreakable.
We're watching the
B.
WWE.
The Bold and the Beautiful. C. The Bravest of the Bold. Or D. Time to Die Hard. Yeah.
Brave and the Bold.
Pete, it's yours.
Pete, you did it!
All right. Idris Elba, Bloodsport, versus Mei Ling, Manga. Okay, question. Which character, oh, this isn't fair. Oh, well. Question. Which character goes into the mission
your phone?
armed with the most weaponry?
I'm talking to Tia.
Bloodsport.
Oh, isn't it Polka?
Yeah.
Polka dots got all the dots that can.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just stopped my video for a second. Things were happening in the background.
Tia wasn't gone. She's like, oh my God.
Pulls off all the different kinds of weapons. The Vandal weapon that he wears in the movie?
Oh, come on.
I was editing a scene yesterday, Idris, where you're, and I noticed for the first time that you're going up the side of a wall in your mandals.
I don't know if that's really
But he always was, I guess he was always wearing his mandals in that scene. I just never noticed till yesterday.
Danielle loves those mandals, don't you, Danielle?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, who's next? If given the chance, which superhero would your character like to take down?
It's not about taking anybody down. It's about trying to bring yourself up. You know, spread some positive vibes.
Cena for president. After that answer, I'm going to vote for John. That's it.
Which new addition to the squad was the biggest surprise to you?
I think Weasel was the biggest surprise. You're going to expect him to be this crazy.
I think it was Weasel.
I mean, come on.
Wait till you see Weasel in action in the movie.
How is the movie? How does it look?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like really, truly, it's just the most fun I've ever had. I love the movie. The studio is overwhelmingly happy with it.
Wow.
It's just the action is great. It's funny. And it's really dramatic in the right places and very touching. It's great. And all of you guys, I mean, just down the line, it's just the greatest cast I've ever worked with by far. Just every single person is amazing. It's just a once in a lifetime thing for me. It was a blast to make. And it's just cutting together just completely fluidly. Honestly, I'm so grateful to all of you guys except for Rooker. But I can cut around them pretty easily.
Poor Michael Rooker.
Just so you guys know, Michael Rooker's being treated.
They made it digital for you, so we don't even have to look at you on the cutting room floor.
I just got to say, what an amazing experience it was. Because of you and all these guys. You know, the atmosphere on that set was so positive. Such a warm, wonderful, supportive place to be. You know, not everybody has been in a big superhero movie. even if they've been Doctor Who or anything like that. So to walk onto a set like that can be quite intimidating. But the welcome that you and everybody here provided was just fantastic. So thank you and everybody here for that.
Leave it to the British guy to come in right at the end and say something beautiful that makes us all look stupid.
That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm called the Thinker.
So the showdown champion, I believe, even though we haven't been keeping very good score, is Viola Davis's team. So you guys, right? I have a little something special.
Whoa!
We have you guys right now.
Full movie.
Everybody out there in the DC FanDome universe are going to be the first to see a little behind the scenes action from the Suicide Squad.
I think it's going to surprise people.
You kind of sit there and go, how did they do that?
It's going to be different from any superhero movie ever made.
I'm ready.
She looks so beautiful.
Margot Robbie, I agree.
I was excited with an opportunity to be able to do the Suicide Squad.
Ah.
It would be done from my point of view. This one is completely unique. This is a gritty 1970s war movie.
This is gonna be freaking amazing.
James Gunn's characters in comedy.
Oh, look at my man, Joker.
Characters within each of our characters. There's
Good old Tia fangirling over there.
That's what I'm here for.
pretty crappy through and through.
Be like a douchey Captain America.
The guy who believes in peace at any cost, no matter how many
He plays it well.
kill along the way.
Okay, I got it. Never settle back like you think you know where this is going, because you don't.
As soon as you have some sense about what's about to happen next, James comes in.
Everyone's exploding. Janitors, heads, arms, legs.
It's like a big
Rated R.
brought to life.
By far the biggest movie I've ever made.
That you know what to expect.
Don't get too attached.
This has been truly the greatest, most exciting journey of my life making this film. God, that was great.
That was great, James. That was great.
I wanted a trailer. Come on, man.
Hold on, we'll reveal it right after this panel ends, guys.
Anyway, I can't wait for everybody to see the Suicide Squad in theaters all the way in August 6th, 2021. We're still working on it, but man, I am so excited for everybody to see it. And I am grateful for everyone out there in the DC universe who came and checked out and hung out with us for a little while and saw this train wreck that was gone perfectly smoothly, if not for Michael. So, thank you guys.
All right, I'm leaving. I'm gonna watch that behind the scenes 25 more times.
Your French generation for James Gunn. How about you? Tweet us at hashtag.
Let's move. Surprise DC panels next, but that's at 5, so we have a break.
Okay. All right. So that was awesome. If I don't say so myself, that was
Don't say so
beautiful.
I am a fan of all sports, but I played basketball, football, cricket, hockey as a kid, and then as an adult, I did kickboxing and a little bit of boxing. When I was training for this film, because there was a lot of work that we had to do, I basically didn't do a sport. I did a sort of general training package, which was more centered around my kickboxing training. So that's lots of circuits, lots of, cardio work, a little bit of weight training to get those big muscles up. And yeah, essentially working on that particular film, the work rate was so high, we were training every day on the job. So that's me.
Turns out Gail isn't the only tennis player who is a massive DC fan. Now let's check in with two other mega fans who, like us, share.
Yes.
All right. No, what's always funny is when they say don't get too attached. I get it, but what's funny about that is you can go, all right, well, Harley Quinn's not.
Yeah.
Captain Boomerang's not.
Certain characters are like,
certain characters you're like, all right, well, obviously I can get attached to them. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Idris Elba's character will die. He will not make it past this movie.
I would not put it past him.
The only reason I say that is because in Hobbs and Shaw, I thought he was going to be like a centerpiece for the villains going forward. He died in that. So I was like, well, if they're willing to kill off Idris Elba in that, he'll definitely die in a movie where he's supposed to die.
I feel like Michael Rooker's character is going to be like the one who ends up living. Like they rag on him so much, but he ends up like making it past everything else. I think Harley Quinn's definitely not going to die. Idris Elba might die. I don't know. Why would they need to keep? I guess they need to keep Captain Boomerang around for like the Flash continuum, but
I pray. I pray they keep him around for that. I need the
who knows?
Watch, no one dies. I would guarantee you, no one dies.
No
one dies.
They wouldn't tell you don't get attached if everyone lives.
It's. He's lying. I guarantee you, no one dies.
Dan,
You're not going to keep Polka Dot Man around.
no.
Yeah.
Come on. If they kill one I just pray to God they kill off Captain Boomerang. That's all. I
was going to say, Dan is not a fan, so he wouldn't be sad.
He better stay.
You have all these interesting characters, then you have Captain Boomerang. That's who you just bring back.
I will say this
Classic
though.
Suicide Squad there.
My guess as to who dies first, Joel said the question is who dies first. I'm gonna go ahead and say I can almost guarantee Javelin Man dies first, only because a lot of those behind the scenes shots and a lot of the behind the scenes photos we saw of Harley carrying that javelin. Yeah. I guarantee you she's only carrying it because he died.
Dead, yeah.
Right, because he died. So I'd say
Javelin,
I equate him to the rope guy from the first Suicide Squad.
Oh God! He didn't even have a name. The rope guy.
Who cares about him?
Slipknot did not last very long though.
I will say this though, from the behind the scenes, I feel like my favorite character is going to be King Shark.
King Shark's going to be fun.
I hope they blend King Shark in between what he was in the comics and somewhat, not fully, of what Harley Quinn show did with King Shark. That's what I hope.
He's an IT guy.
Yeah, he's a computer genius.
No, the comedy side of it. I only say that because the actor is a very comedic actor. Yeah. Anyone watch New Girl? He played the homeless guy in the show New Girl. Yeah, he was the homeless guy. So I hope they get the comedic side of King Shark, also his vicious side when he gets angry.
Maybe.
Because one of the shots was someone going in his mouth. So obviously he's eating people.
Yeah. That's not a problem.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I hope for. But it looks like King Shark's gonna be my favorite, only because if they can get King Shark to look that well, I bet not ever see that practical shit for what's his name? That was in the first Suicide Squad movie.
Killer Croc?
Killer Croc.
Killer Croc.
Oh yeah, that was just
you could do better if King Shark looks that good.
Yeah, for sure.
Did they reveal who? I'm sorry, who's Sean Gunn playing again?
Weasel.
Yeah, he's gonna die. Like James Gunn's gonna kill his brother off. He's definitely doing.
There's no way. That has marketing written all over it. That's Rocket Raccoon Part 2 right there.
You know what?
Like, yeah, you can market that.
As long as I don't get cheap deaths like we did in the first Suicide Squad, I'll be happy. If everybody has a chance to shine and then they die, then I'll be good.
I'm accepting that Rick Flag is going to die. As much as I don't want him to die, I'm guaranteeing.
Who did you say will die to you? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Rick Flag. Rick Flag is dying.
I can see that. I can see that.
Because Joel Kinnaman always dies pretty much in his movies and TV shows. Like Joel Kinnaman has a very low chance of surviving to the next one. So the fact that he survived the first Suicide Squad is pretty amazing. They get him just for characters to kill off.
He was kind of redundant.
I'll say this.
in my
It
opinion.
depends because I personally don't need Rick Flag if I have Deadshot in the next one. I understand the first one.
I want Deadshot back.
But here's the thing. I need Amanda Waller's right-hand man to be slayed down. So I don't need Rick Flag to continue if Deathstroke is in anyone's plans going forward for Suicide Squad. So that's how I view it. If not, then yeah, why can't a right-hand man be Rick Flag still?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't be, you know that I'm a big fan of Joel Kinnaman, but I get my, like, hopes up in every Joel Kinnaman, like, project. Same thing with, like, yeah, and he dies a lot. So, you know, I'm just preparing myself. But, no, it looks great. That behind the scenes, that looks great. I'm happy to see so much hype for the Suicide Squad, especially with people who have been so apprehensive about, like, say, James Gunn joining the DC universe, or they weren't fans of the 2016 Suicide Squad. So I'm pretty pumped about this, and I'm happy to see other people excited about it. And the cast looked really excited as well.
I'm going out on a limb here because I wasn't that high on Guardians 2. I'm willing to say this might be James Gunn's best work.
Oh, it was funny when he was saying this is his favorite crew, and I was like, Dave Bautista sitting over there like, I've defended you, man.
I was gonna say,
I'm willing to lose my job for you.
Yeah, I was willing to walk away from Marvel.
They wrote,
he was gonna be Peacemaker.
They wrote a full letter for James Gunn, and like just said, Bautista was willing to break his contract.
Yeah.
For James Gunn.
Marvel to walk away to get James Gunn back, but
I mean,
we have.
Zoe Saldana sitting there like, what am I, chopped liver?
We have to be honest, though. We have to be honest. This is definitely the hottest group of people James Gunn has worked with.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean,
like physical attraction or
all of it. All of it.
All of the above.
Yes.
I mean, if you tell me right now, Juwan, Idris Elba or Dave Bautista, Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, Idris Elba. Yeah.
Well, one of those guys was rated the sexiest man alive. So
that's true.
Come on,
I feel like that's unfair.
And you have Viola Davis, so automatically.
I do want to ask you guys. I want to start with you, Dan. How blown away were you by? I'll say the accuracy of the costumes, but how well it looked. And this isn't even finished.
Stupid accurate.
He's just saying
color and all.
James Gunn was just, there's still work to be done to finish it. So this is how good it looks, and it's not fully done.
Right.
So how did you feel about the costumes?
I think the costumes look really good. And there's something to be said with comic accuracy, and it's very silly. But these characters are very silly, I guess. So I give him kudos for really sticking to the comic accurate costumes. I actually thought John Cena was playing Orion and not Peacekeeper.
It did look like it a little bit.
I saw the helmet. I was like, oh shit, Orion is in this movie? I thought they were, because I know they're coming out with the New Gods movie. So I guess they're going to tie it together somehow. But I will admit I'm not fully aware of who has been in the Suicide Squad ranks before.
I don't think he's been in
No. Well, here's the thing. Here's the freedom you have if you're James Gunn that it looked like David Ayer wasn't really given. Suicide Squad is just a band of misfits. You can pick who you want your misfits to be. You don't have to go off of who in the comics was in the Suicide Squad. The only issue is, and me and Joel were talking about this after we saw not after we saw, but when we were talking about the first Suicide Squad, is you can't just take anyone, mainly because, like, you taking Boomerang scared me because in the comics, usually not everybody makes it out. And we were saying, like, well, you can't kill Boomerang because The Flash hasn't even had its movies yet, and he's a pivotal member of the Rogue Gallery. So I'm like, it's tricky. But what James Gunn did, and I'll speak for myself, I appreciate, he went out and got names I've never fucking heard of to be in the Suicide Squad. And I appreciate it because even if I like the character, I won't care if they die off because the characters don't mean much to the universe going forward.
Right.
So
Like Polka
that's
Dot Man.
right. That's how genius this is. Like, I'll tell you guys this: James Gunn is so out there. If he got a chance to do another Suicide Squad movie, I guarantee you, Condiment King, or who's the guy in the Harley Quinn show,
Kite Man.
Ivy.
Kite Man.
Kite Man.
James Gunn would go out and get people like that
Oh, we're
because
so getting Kite Man.
because when you think of it and you go
Oh.
Kite Man in a movie where you have to fight, the hell is he gonna do? Hang glide over you? like what is he gonna do? So I love the freedom doing the Suicide Squad gives you. It's the only group of characters in comic book history between DC and Marvel that you just have the freedom to do whatever you want.
And you can kill because you can kill them off.
Right,
too,
like
know?
you can't do
Some
a
of them.
Justice League and not have Superman, Batman,
Right,
Wonder
right,
Woman.
yeah.
You
It's
can have
tough to
whoever
kill
you
off a
want.
hero.
Right, you can have whoever you want in Suicide Squad. And if
There are certain villains you want to be careful with. Like Harley, you're not because she's the moneymaker.
Right.
You're not killing
Right.
Harley Quinn off.
Right.
Deadshot's not in it, but I don't think you'd kill off Deadshot.
I don't think you're killing off Will Smith.
Right.
You're not doing that. You don't have the balls to do that. I mean, they didn't even have the balls to recast them. They just said, nah.
No, we
we'll
changed
take
our
them
mind.
out.
We changed our mind.
We'll just take them out. But Tia, I want to go to you next. Did you get kind of like a grasp of kind of the concept of this movie from the behind the scenes? Like, what did you get when you saw the behind the scenes?
Oh, geez. I mean, as AJ said, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it to even like process anything. Obviously, there's tons of explosions. It looks like tonally like a completely different movie than what the first Suicide Squad movie was. And you guys know I liked the first Suicide Squad movie. But what it seems like they're doing in this film is totally different, and I like it. It's a different movie. James Gunn's coming in, he's bringing his own flair, and he's just making a movie. And I think that that's the nice thing when there isn't such pressure to feel like you need to fit a mold. He's just doing his thing. I love that the costumes are completely out there. He's not concerned like, oh, let's make, the dark costumes that no one can tell what they are. It's dark and ambiguous. Let's do some crazy freaking colors. Sorry about that. Some crazy freaking colors. I loved it. I can't tell at all what it's going to be like, but that doesn't matter. I just want to see this movie.
I'd say my biggest question mark from seeing this behind the scenes is because they've already expressed between Suicide Squad, the Birds of Prey, don't really question too much about it. And then from Birds of Prey to this, how the hell does Harley get arrested? It's not out of the realm of possibility that she does get arrested.
Right.
But what did she do between?
Well, okay, not for nothing. Didn't she technically I really don't think that someone like Harley Quinn should be responsible for a child. So, child endangerment, someone pulls her over and it's like, hey, you're Harley Quinn. There's a young child here. Get the fuck in the car.
I will say this. I do want them to connect some dots, but that is one thing that I'm not upset if they don't mention it. Like where Cassandra Cain is.
Yeah, at what point did she get arrested?
I don't really need that.
Explain that's fake Cassandra. There we go.
Oh,
that's not real Cassandra.
No, that's just not who you thought was going to be Cassandra. But unfortunately,
so
AJ,
young.
not enough people are Cassandra Cain fans for them to want to do better by her. So that was just a serviceable character. But I did agree with you initially. They could have just named her
someone else. It could have been any other girl.
Naming her Cassandra Cain was just the weirdest thing. And then you connected no dots to who she truly is. And it's just like, all right, that was weird. But anyway.
Unless they use it in the future.
I mean,
Well,
they
we'll see.
can, but here's the problem.
Yeah.
Cassandra Cain is part of whose world?
Batman.
Who the fuck is Batman in this world to know if you can connect her? So that's the question
We
mark.
won't know till fucking Flashpoint.
Until Flashpoint. Like we won't even know seeing the Batman next year. That will answer nothing.
No.
We gotta wait all the way to Flashpoint.
That's a separate novel. It's a own book.
By the way, Tia and Dan, I don't know if you guys caught this. Joel posted everything to the group chat for you guys to check out.
Sorry, I did not.
Oh, sorry, he did not. I apologize. But they revealed in the Flash panel that was really quick. It wasn't that long. Barry has a new suit that Bruce Wayne creates.
I could definitely do a pic.
Only problem is in the because they showed us the artwork right? So they showed us the artwork of what the suit looks like. In the one photo of Barry in his new suit, Michael Keaton's Batman is behind him. The
I saw
question:
that. That
whose
was pretty cool.
Batman created his suit?
Yeah.
Was it Ben's Batman or Keaton's Batman? So that'll be interesting. Because what if this would be super funny? Is if when Barry comes in contact with Keaton's Batman, if Keaton's Batman goes, "Are you Barry Allen?" And like they get to know each other, and he's like, "I had a Barry Allen, but he died. Here's the suit that I made for him."
Right.
And like that's the suit that Barry wears is the suit of Keaton's Flash.
Yeah.
Right.
If this is, I'm sorry, I got your picture. If this is the concept, I would be really happy with this because I hated the freaking Flash suit in Justice League. Oh, it was so ugly. So this definitely looks like a shit ton better. So I hope they go with this. Yeah. I just like came in after the beach and everything. But I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Does it look like from the behind the scenes with the Suicide Squad that it's seemingly that these characters are being given the freedom to be as powerful as they should be, as opposed to maybe more like level than they were in the first Suicide Squad? Like, to me, it just looks like they're being given the freedom to just go buck wild, pretty much.
Well, the problem that I think David Ayer put himself in with the first Suicide Squad was it was too grounded. So anyone with powers, it was like, how far are you really gonna go? Because everybody else is so grounded. With this group, everybody is grounded. Outside of the purple chick. What's her name?
Everybody's ungrounded.
Mongol.
She's an alien.
Right, who's an alien. But outside of that, really, everyone is on the same playing field. You see a lot of people with guns. One guy with a javelin.
Don't forget King Shark.
Right. So
Shark is a
it's
shark.
way more along the lines of being even. Like, think about this. Harley had a bat in her hand most of that original Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
And her teammate was a guy that could turn into a flaming god. So it was like, all right, the levels in that were just too drastic.
Yeah. So
so
many
this-
grounded characters didn't really fit with what they
Didn't
were
fit
trying
with
to
it.
do.
Right.
Like, they were trying to kill the Justice League
Right.
with people with a bat. It's not gonna work.
Exactly. Like, this group would have made more
Now,
sense for what David
this
Ayer
group is
selected.
also just people with guns and bats. But,
Right, but I
the-
think their mission is more grounded than what
the
that
mission
was
is more
trying to do.
grounded.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, this story looks like it's going to be set like they're going after like a drug kingpin or something like that. They're not going after a supreme being.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is smart. Which is very smart.
Yeah, that's what this group should always be. You should never have them going up against demigods because,
Right.
like you said,
tries to do later.
Right. We'll see what the game tries to do. But
you have a woman with a bat, a guy with a boomerang, and someone who could just shoot very well. It's not going to matter when you're going up against Wonder Woman, Superman.
Right.
Yeah,
be like, Amanda, this is who you said?
Batman caught half of that team.
It's like Batman. It's like, did you not see the opening credits where Batman put all of them in jail? Why would you send them after me?
Batman caught half of the team. Just the man.
Like, Superman's like, I just blinked and they're back in themselves, right? Like, I just had to blink and they're back.
This movie should be something along the lines of like Escape from New York or True Lies kind of thing, where it's all just like really hammy and over the top kind of stuff, and that's what the characters look like.
You know what I compared this to? I'm comparing it, obviously, not having seen like a full trailer or knowing what it's about. I consider this to be a comic book version of Shoot 'em Up.
Yeah.
So you're taking the best
Let's
of the
not
best.
compare
No.
good shit to crap. All right.
No,
Shoot 'em up
I'm
is-
sorry. Not Shoot 'em Up. Not Shoot 'em Up. I meant Smoking Aces. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Smoking Aces.
Sorry, I meant Smoking Aces.
Shoot 'em up.
Wait, did everybody here see Smoking Aces?
I saw both.
I like Smoking Aces.
Okay. The premise of that, if you
does
think
feel
about
like
it,
it does
was
feel-
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
One goal, almost everybody died.
It was all assassins.
Right.
Which
Exactly.
was a really good movie. I like that movie.
Very good movie that did not need a sequel.
And very eccentric characters. I liked
Right.
it a lot.
It seems like this.
Yeah.
It seems like think about it. You can even make comparisons. You compare Harley Quinn to what Chris Pine's group was.
Right.
They were the crazy psychotic group that they'd blow up an elevator in the elevator.
Oh,
Like,
that
that's how
shit
crazy
was
they were.
funny, bro. That's the
so
group that killed Ben Affleck, right?
yes. And then shot the guy and took his fingers off.
Yeah,
like they were
yeah.
insane. So to me, Suicide Squad
The
is
big
like
dude is what I wanted for Craven.
he would have been an amazing Craven.
I like that guy.
I also wouldn't mind him just being the body for Bane and having someone else do the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a really good group of people. I love that he went out and got Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson, if you know his story and you actually saw his movie, really, really, really great dude.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he does in this movie ultimately before Amanda blows his head off.
Right.
Pete Davidson's definitely dying.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Everybody said that when he got casted. Oh, he's gonna.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that are gonna be.
To me, Pete Davidson looked so disinterested in that panel.
But that's why I'm saying if you see the movie that he
Shy,
made
though.
about his life,
Yeah.
that's kind of just his demeanor. He's not like, oh, I'm super joyous or overly joyous.
Yeah, he's very chill.
He's very low key. Very.
I guess going up against the backdrop of everyone else being overly excited.
Yeah. Pete Davidson is definitely the guy that will walk into a room and go, "You're killing my mellow. I gotta leave." There's just way too much going on here. But yeah.
You know what's it's hilarious with the panel. I was noticing how, because we were talking about how, Viola Davis is such a seemingly wonderful human being who's always just so happy, and Amanda Waller is the most terrifying person on in a DC movie. To me, I think she's the scariest person in any DC film.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm completely with you. And what I think is super special about this is it has a feel of James Gunn, I think, that is as unique as when Guardians came out, mainly because what James Gunn is doing with these groups of characters, minus Harley, is ultimately what he's doing with what he did with Guardians, which was a tall task.
He took a whole bunch of characters no one knew anything
no
about.
one knew or cared about,
Exactly.
and make them something that people care about. And I'm going to tell you this right now.
We're gonna care.
When we have Comic-Con next year, if everything calms down and we can actually have a forum together, there will be a massive amount of Weasels, Polka Dot Man. It will be huge come next year, because remember, Comic-Con is right before when this movie comes out in August.
Right.
So you'll see. But remember, Guardians was we cosplayed Guardians.
I did.
Not long after the first movie came out.
James Gunn knows how to market characters.
Yeah.
And that probably, honestly, is another reason why DC wanted to bring him in. They saw what he was able to do with Guardians, the amount of merchandise that was produced as a result, and how much money they made. And they're like, shit, we want him to do that with this film, with this franchise. Let's get, more than just Batman figures, which I know Jawan has 50 in his house.
Watch your mouth, Tia. I'm buying one on Amazon.
Did you see that that they put in to trademark Robert Pattinson's Batman symbol? They're trademarking it, and they're gonna put it on everything. So I know that Juwan is just gonna
I already ordered some. There's some on Amazon right now that they put out.
Yeah, I would tell you this right now. If Batman were able to have a stock, I'd be the only one investing 100%. Send my checks to Batman stock. They just send them all there.
Wait, Juwan, have you bought one yet off of Amazon?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
AJ's on it.
They are beautiful. They are beautiful. Same with Suicide Squad.
Tia, Dan, if you guys aren't on your phones, what I would like you guys to do, because I don't think I can share it. I think it'll be delayed. Is Joel posted to you guys the Wonder Woman 84 new trailer?
Yeah.
I'd like you guys to check that out so we can talk that over with you guys. Oh, you saw it already? Oh, okay, perfect. So Tia just the only one that hasn't seen it.
Tia, get with the program.
I was at the beach, yo.
There's Wi-Fi there.
No excuse. No, I will say, Dan, I don't know how much into gaming you are, but that Gotham Knights. Whoa, daddy. That Gotham Knights was something to behold. The story of it. The story of it is, Dan, is Bruce Wayne's dead. And it's now up to his. I call them his kids, but it's now up to the
Bat family.
Yeah, the Bat family, which is Barbara, Dick, Tim, and Jason Todd.
As far as we know. So basically, Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, and Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, I thought you were correcting me, and I'm like, no, that's all we saw.
Well, they never confirmed.
Right?
So
Okay, I got you.
Sure, so.
I was like, nah, is he correcting me? That's literally what we saw. But no, it looks great, like really, really, really good. And they took a Freddy Krueger kind of vibe, introducing the
well, they do that. They're kind of
Court of
creepy.
the Owls. No, they're very creepy. But
kinda
unfortunately, we've only ever seen it from the comic book, so we've never seen someone try to animate it to where it was scary or anything like that. So this is our first introduction to them outside of a No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. We saw it in Batman v Robin, but outside of that,
the animated movie.
this is our another introduction. Oh, I'm lying again. We saw it in Gotham. It was done really badly, but we saw it in
People had
Gotham.
suits and masks.
There was no Talon, but there were the Court of the Owls.
It was all prequel too, then.
Right. You creating Talon when Bruce is 10 would have been the worst possible thing ever. Like, why didn't you just kill him now then? Why do you wait till he grows up and becomes Batman?
Yeah, for real.
But the game looked great, Dan, and we're getting ready for obviously later tonight seeing Suicide Squad versus Justice League. Seeing what
Kill
that
the
brings
Justice
us.
League.
Kill
They're very
the Justice
specific.
League. They're very specific. Yes. I want to ask you this, Dan. I asked AJ. AJ said Man of Steel. I said Aquaman. Joel went Wonder Woman. What is your favorite DC movie to date of the DC universe, not Keaton's or Bale's, of the DCE
the
universe?
current DC movie?
Right.
Okay. Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I think that's the strongest one. I would say Wonder Woman and Shazam. I like Shazam.
Yeah, it's crazy. I told you, I don't think Aquaman's a better movie than Wonder Woman, but to me, visual means everything. And my eyes popped out of my head seeing Orm and Arthur in their comic accurate suits.
Yeah.
Just top to the. But see, here's the big difference. Patty Jenkins made Wonder Woman under Zack's umbrella, so everything was so dark. Her suit couldn't really pop, like you see it popping in Wonder Woman 84.
Right.
So Aquaman was James Wan just doing it himself.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
and that's why Muschietti's Flash looks so good.
Exactly.
Because it's him doing him.
Exactly. And what a lot of people keep forgetting is Flash is not different than Spider-Man. His world is not that goddamn dark. So I shouldn't see Flash running in a movie that's 90% dark. No, it's bright. It's colorful. He's supposed to be the polar opposite of what's happening in Batman's world. That's why in the CW, that's why Arrow said to Barry, it's not like your city. It's not rainbows and hugs and kisses over here.
Right.
People die every day. So that's supposed to be Barry's world. So when I saw Aquaman and I saw him in the and how bright, beautiful it looked, it just, my eyes popped. I remember looking over at Joel like, I'm gonna die happy.
How many times did I post that picture online?
At least 1 million. Every few seconds, Joel's like, let me. But go ahead, Tia.
I just want to say I just watched the new trailer while you guys are talking and everything. So if you want to chat about that, we certainly can. But I will say that before we go any further, those who complain that DC is following a trend similar to Marvel, they're just not going to like Wonder Woman 1984. It's so bright and colorful. There's so many like kind of funnier parts, like especially at that end with Steve Trevor trying on the parachute pants and the fanny pack. Like, I love that shit. So speaking about the, lighter hearted movies as opposed to the darker themes that we see other DC films try to do.
Yeah, no, and Tia, what really spoke to me and Joel of this trailer, and AJ, I'll let you speak for yourself, was how colorful It looks.
It was weird because it's like really colorful but also grounded.
Very grounded.
Yeah, which
And-
I appreciate, you know?
And I'll say this: I have not seen to date anything visually cooler than someone taking a lasso and using it like Spider-Man's web off of lightning strikes.
Yeah, they gotta explain. I swear she was on a cloud at one point.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
like,
she did. I noticed that too. I don't even think it was on a cloud. I think it was just.
I don't know what the fuck it was.
Who knows? Who knows?
I want to
But
see that again.
Visually, I have not seen to date anything doper than that. Like, how the hell do you even do that?
I know.
I do want to say, I do hope, whether it's in this movie or the third movie, they introduce the invisible jet. And I hope they do a prototype. So, like, someone's telling Diana, like, Diana, you know I can see you, right? And she's like, oh, because, like, you're here. No. Like, I see you through the plane. Like, why aren't you invisible, too? And it's like,
Like every of the old cartoons. No, I was so stoked when they finally showed Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, which Kristen Wiig in general looked really great in this. You always say, Joanne, like comedians have the ability to play these type of parts. You just need to give them the chance. I thought it looked amazing. I was freaking stoked. But to me, what I'm most excited about is Pedro Pascal's character. I love this whole like dystopian real salesperson because I feel like that was so prominent in the 80s. Do you want to change your life? Look at all these cars that I have. I can help you do the same thing. But it's like that with like a supervillain powers mentality. I loved like the visions of the city looking like, you know, it was all messed up with the wind happening, kicking up and things. It looks so cool. Like I'm so pumped for Pedro Pascal in this.
okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I have to be honest. Pedro's starting to get up there with where Ben is for me. I'm starting to kind of want to see this man everywhere. Like, just start make a Pedro app.
No, believe me, I've liked him since Narcos, which I don't know if so many people watch.
Bro, the Viper.
So Game of Thrones, Narcos, but I think what put him on the map for a lot of people was The Mandalorian, and I think that's where people are kind of now seeing him more and more, and this will certainly help. But no, Pedro Pascal is an awesome actor. He's really just joyful to have around, so I think he's really going to embody this character and give us his like best.
Yeah. AJ, go ahead. Did you want to speak more to your thoughts both on the Suicide Squad panel and anything else you wanted to mention about Wonder Woman?
I already mentioned this before, but with the Suicide Squad, it looks like everybody is going to have a time to shine. And it, unlike in, what's his name? David Ayer's Suicide Squad. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to, just to see everybody's action sequences. And just what we've seen so far, it visually looks good, even though it's just behind the scenes stuff. We did get a couple shots where we did see in movie. So I feel like that's good. All the actors, all the characters that's in there, I didn't even know some of the characters like you, Juwan. So just to see them in action in the theaters, I think it's going to be pretty good. And it's going to be as original as the first Guardians of the Galaxy for most people. And I love that. So that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, this movie somewhat reminds me of Hell to Pay, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, because they introduced characters that if you don't read comics, you've never heard of. And they made them prominent characters. One of them being the guy Joel was praying that Idris Elba was playing.
The guy's a prominent member of the team, and the 2 movies, still nothing.
Still no Bron Steiger, yeah? Well, it's where we live in, unfortunately. Before we all go and take a break until the next panel, Dan, I wanted you to give your thoughts on the Wonder Woman 84 trailer.
Look good. I agree. I was kind of hooked when we first got the teaser trailer for this movie where Diana swings on lightning with her lasso. That looked cool. I think Steve Trevor is not really alive. I think that's something that Pedro Pascal's character might have created, because I think he mentions like anything that you want, I can get you or whatever. So I think it's all in her head. Kristen Wiig, I'm holding judgment on because a lot of the times, to me, it just seems like a weird casting choice, but I've been wrong plenty of times with that. So I'm going to withhold judgment. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. It's second behind the Batman for movies that I would want to see DC. So yeah, the Batman, Wonder Woman, Black Adam.
Yeah.
We got that panel coming up too, guys.
Yeah, Black Adam. I think that'll be cool.
I want a costume reveal.
So it's like
some
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, last yesterday.
So it's like the Batman is up here, right? And then the Snyder cut is like you can't see me going through the floor right here, but it's somewhere in my basement.
No, but I'm right with you in the idea. See, here's the thing: when Kristen Wiig was casted, I said it was a bad choice, but I was open to it because I knew her issue wouldn't be acting. It would be more so, how are you bringing Cheetah to life, and can she in any way help cultivate that in a way that we're blown away by, right? So that was my skepticism. But when it comes to castings, I've been wrong every single time. I've said, nope, not gonna work. Don't know who the hell that is.
Yep.
So
Validate
I don't make that mistake anymore. I just say myself, but I don't say it out loud. So I'm kind of like, I hate that. And then I'm like, but I don't want to tell anybody I hate that in case I like it. But to me, seeing her as Cheetah, I was telling Joel, I want to see it again, and maybe watching it on here, it wasn't that clear, or maybe just the lighting of the scene wasn't that good. But her Cheetah looks so good, like so good. Her Barbara, was it Minerva? Minerva,
yeah.
Minerva. I don't know. Cadaver, whatever.
Where's our heart, Juan?
No, but she looked really good. Like, everyone was going crazy when Gal stepped out of the car in that beautiful dress, and I'm like, Barbara looked amazing too. Anybody want to say something for Barbara?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this. This is going to be the showdown of the year ever. Hopefully this year, but who knows? I feel like everything is like 2021. 2021. But what we're gonna do now, guys, Tia just got home. I'm sure Dan just finished some stuff. AJ wants to go make something to eat. So we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back for the next big panel. We'll all come back in
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
There's a surprise panel. I don't know what the fuck it's about, so we just want to be there for that. So.
Okay. So
when is it?
It's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock? Okay.
An hour. You got an hour break.
All right, so we got
go eat.
We're gonna do an hour break. Tia, get settled in.
Stretch your legs.
Dan, whatever you gotta do. AJ, go eat. We're probably gonna go eat. And then we'll meet back up at 5. We'll go live again, and we'll break down from 5 pretty much to what?
I think it's to the end. But
5 to the end, because we got Black Adam. Dan, we'll mute you for the Snyder cut.
I'll be MIA for that.
Yeah, me too. I second that.
No, let's have an argument. Let's have an argument on
We
it.
have an Ask Harley Quinn panel that I want to watch. I think they're gonna make the season 3 announcement. And then we have the Suicide Squad game, the Batman, and what am I missing? Oh, Aquaman has his panel,
and Shazam.
Yeah, the Batman's the last one.
Batman's a half hour, a little more. Probably.
So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna do 5 till the end, and then do a.
We'll look at the schedule and see where there's another.
in between that.
Right, but it's gonna pretty much be straight through 5 to 8:30.
And then 9:30 we'll do our recap show of the whole day.
Right.
And then Dom will be on that. Will be on that, and then I'm sure
big one.
a few more people will want to join. Cannon will probably want to hop on.
Right.
So I'll get to working on seeing who else wants to join that. But outside of that, guys, take a break, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys too.
Everybody watching.
Everybody watching in an hour.
See you later.
All right, guys.